It's Tone Capone. You already know what time it is. Let's go. Welcome to Waves of the Bay. Yeah, I said it's Waves of the Bay. If you ain't about the action, better find another lane. If you ain't providing platforms, better find another stage. I'm living in my purpose, every day is game day. And now it's time to level up. Give the people what they want, show the artist off his strut. Let the music do the talking while the talent gets the flaunt. They said it's all written, but I had to change the font. Come on, because I do what I want. Champions win, so I'm not about to taunt. After all the smoke clears, I'll be standing right here at the top with my peers, living life without fears. I'm full speed ahead, never looking in the mirror, never looking in the rear, cause I'm known to switch gears. Hey mom, thanks for raising me to be so brave. Tampa Bay, yeah, it's time for y'all to catch this wave. Ride the wave. Let's go. Let's go. Set it off.
One, two, 1, 2. It is I, DJ Spaceship, live in the studio. I got me a special guest with me, man. I think she goes by the name of Simba. Simba, you with me?
Yes. We here. We live. Simba.
We are here, man. We are having ourselves a good time tonight. We have a whole show for you, a whole packed show. We have, it's me, DJ Spaceship. Yeah, y'all remember me, man. I used to be here with Tone Capone, and then I moved on to Waves of the Bay. Went from Waves of the Bay over to WMNF in the morning, which you can catch me every Monday morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and that's every Monday. And yeah, man, I'm just in here. We're going to play a couple of tunes. Just want to give a couple of birthday shout outs, and Winnie, happy birthday out there. Triple OG, happy birthday out there. To all my Virgos are past, and all my Libras that are coming up. Just tongue-tied a little bit there. Happy birthday. So we're going to get into a little bit of music, and then we're going to come back and talk to the one and only Simba, Orlando's very own, and find out what's up with her, everything new. And is that all right with you, Simba?
Yes, we better get into it. I'm grateful to be here. Looking forward to it.
This is DJ Spaceship, Waves of the Bay. Let's go. You over there with me, Simba?
Yeah, for sure.
Man, we're back in the business, man. It's a Saturday night. I got Simba in here with me. You all right over there?
Yes, sir. Yes. We out here. We here. Simba. Had to pull up.
Listen, so I want to do a quick intro. Like, I went to Orlando with my man Brandon B. Shout out Brandon B. And we went to Orlando to a spot out there called Writer's Block. And, I play the wall and like to just lay back, chill, not be too much, just, be in my own. And then I encountered Simba. She got up and she did some poetry. Mm-hmm. And, we connected from there. And she told me, she said, hey, I have some music and stuff like that. And then the vibe everything just took off from there. So what was your introduction to poetry? Like, why poetry? Like, what did you choose poetry?
I've been doing poetry since I was about 16 years old. I've had two mentors. His name was Ray Dominguez, and another one was Will the Real One. Will the Real One was actually, unfortunately, murdered outside of his poetry spot in North Miami. When I was a kid, I needed an outlet. I needed a voice. I was one of those kids that was around all the parties and the teenage clubs, but felt like I didn't really have a voice. And so I was going through a lot at the time. My father had disowned me. I was kind of looking for God. And I was like, you know what? I need an outlet. So I started trying to freestyle a little bit. And a kid that I knew was like, hey, you really should try this thing called spoken word. It's where you tap in and you just, get off and get free on the mic, on the stage. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try that. And so they had this thing, every Saturday, basically it was there in Sistrunk in Fort Lauderdale, and all the youth would get together and they spit poetry, and I just felt alive every time I got on that stage.
Gotcha. Now, since you started doing poetry, like, is there a poet in particular, whether it's a mainstream poet or someone that's in your own backyard, is there a poet in particular that you just like a big fan of?
Definitely, I feel like I've been a fan of Aja Monet.
Okay.
She's based out of New York, and she's so poetic. I really enjoy her poetry. I'm really a fan of my youth. I'm a fan of the youth poets that I work with because every day they inspire me. I actually have a nonprofit called Exodus United, and I mentor youth, and they just get in there and they tell their story, and they just spit from the heart about the trauma and the pain, and they inspire me every single day. But also, I'd say Rudy Francisco.
Okay.
He's super dope.
It's funny you mentioned him. I do. I'm actually the official DJ for Smoking Words here.
Okay.
Shout out to Nova King, and he actually came through one night, just
Rudy
impromptu.
Francisco.
Yeah, he was. He got up there. He did a piece. He blessed us all with a dope piece, and he did his thing. Like I had never heard of him, but that was my introduction to him.
Yes.
So,
I love him. He actually, was speaking to me a while back as well, talking about wanting to potentially feature in Orlando. So he's really approachable, really down to earth. So I really rock with him and his energy.
Yeah. Now, I know you wear a lot of different hats, and we're going to get into that at the same time. But one of the things that you said that when, in the midst of our exchange of conversation is you mentioned floetry. And if you know floetry, if you know me, I love floetry. Like, shout out Marsha, shout out to Notley. You got to say it with the accent. That's Notley. But what is it about floetry that you see in yourself?
Well, I definitely describe the genre of artistry that I do is floetry. So the group Floetry itself has always inspired me. I love the fact that they're in touch with their poetic element and love and, their environment. But I refer to what I do as Floetry because I'm not necessarily just a poet. I'm not necessarily just a rapper. I call it Floetry. It's a little mixture of poetry, a mixture of rap, a mixture of singing, harmony. It's just a mixture of that pain, everything like that. So I like to refer to the genre that I create, Floetry.
So it's just a combination of what you do.
A combination, basically,
of
what I do.
What's your favorite part about creating a poem? Like you're sitting down, what of the creation process of creating your poem, what's your favorite part of it?
I feel like when I'm building, when I'm reaching that crescendo, when I'm like, I'm building and hype and hype and hype and hype and hype, and I'm about to it's like a climax, climactic moment where you're like, this is it. Like you have people literally on the edge of their seat. They're on the edge of their seat and they're just like, they're with you. So I feel like that moment when I know I'm in my zone, I'm writing and I'm getting free, and I'm just like, really in the moment. And you can feel it, like, when you spit it or when someone hears it, they're just like, man, like they're all in. So I feel like when I'm totally immersed, in that moment, it doesn't matter if I'm hungry, if I'm tired, if I'm sleepy, if I have to use the bathroom, I got to finish that poem. That's all that matters.
Gotcha. Now, you establish yourself as a poet. You're doing your thing in the Orlando area, and you also have a venue that you have a night that you do there. I believe that's Thursday nights, correct?
Yeah, every second and fourth Thursday, Free Yourself open mic. We're there at Novelty Hookah Lounge in Orlando. Definitely pull up.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the music a little bit. We're going to come back with Simba, and we're going to talk a little bit more. Y'all stay tuned. We have a Brandon B sighting in the building, man. We have Brandon B in studio along with Simba.
Legend in the building.
We have a legend in the building. Like I said, was talking earlier with Simba, and you mentioned that you have a spot in Orlando that you have a night at a spot in Orlando, and you do that. You say every second and fourth Thursday?
Yes. Second and fourth Thursdays, catch us, Free Yourself, open mic, Novelty Hookah Lounge, dope lineup, creatives in the city and out of the city come through. They kill it, they perform, they do their thing, they dance, they laugh, they network, and we're just trying to create a space for creatives to, free themselves.
Right.
So every second and fourth.
Now, when I went there, I actually went with the one and only Brandon B. I experienced, it was a little bit of hip hop, it was some poetry, it was some R&B. Matter of fact, Leon Zeller's, whose song I just played there, Ventura Boulevard, he actually performed there, and that's where I met him. And my co-pilot here, Maya, says he's a very famous TikToker, and she wanted to make sure that I knew that. So shout out to him for that. But how is it? How can someone get down? What can they expect when they come there to perform and stuff like that?
So if they want to sign up to perform, they can definitely let us know. We have different performance packages available to try to meet their needs as an artist and create that space for them. They can just come through and perform usually about 2 tracks, 1, 2, 3 tracks, and just just get free and, you know, be able to be intimate with the crowd and have a space where they could just do their thing. And it's a judgment-free zone. We love hard on you know, everybody that's there, and we just show a lot of love. So we welcome everybody that's listening. Come through. It's 8:30 to midnight. Doors open 8:30. It's a hookah lounge. They have a bar, but it's good energy. We have vendors. So if you're listening, definitely come through and, you know, come show some love, perform, watch, witness, all that.
Now, one of the many things, I could say so many different things about the environment. First of all, shout out to you for putting on a dope event.
Shout out
it's
to
very
God.
hard to, you know, go somewhere and you feel relaxed and comfortable. Your host and DJ, the connection between those guys, like
they do have that.
the connection between those guys is just amazing.
Yeah.
How did you pick them out, or were they like, how did that come about?
I mean, I've been through different venues, different hosts, different DJs. So, and shout out to everybody, you know, that was around previously.
Right.
They created that rapport, that bond, and I love that because I love, you know, the DJ. He's super dope. He's like having some fun and like makes it more like fun, like a party.
Right.
But yeah, Twan D, the student, he's super dope, and he has great energy. And I guess they hit it off. They met through the open mic, and, you know, Twan was like, look, I really, you know, I'm getting closer to the DJ, and,
Right.
you know, we're getting closer. So I thought that was cool because it is important. Those
Right.
that you work with and things like that.
You got to have that connection with them.
Yeah, you do, because people can feel it.
Right.
They can feel it. So
Right.
it's good energy.
Now-
have some fun.
Now, you are of Latin descent. You're Hispanic.
So surprisingly, my daughter she's half Colombian,
Okay.
but I'm actually Armenian, French, and Italian.
So you just we're gonna call you a summer child. Some of this, some of that.
Something in between. And I'm actually from artificial insemination. So
Okay.
I don't know my father.
Okay.
So it's an interesting story. I'm like your favorite lab experiment.
Hey, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong like that. You do your thing. So what I wanted to say is, I noticed that you mentioned earlier that when you started poetry, was it down in Miami, the Miami area?
In Fort Lauderdale, Miami.
In
yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. Is there a difference between that environment with the poetry as it is it in Orlando, or is it the same to you?
Like as a youth, you know, it was very community based, a lot of civic engagement, a lot of like, we're going into schools, we're going into jails, we're going into
Gotcha.
art institutes, and you're going to go out in the community and, you know, be about what you're talking about and facilitate workshops. So it was a lot of that, which kind of instilled those values in me and made me want to give back, maybe want to work with the youth and, you know, be a mentor myself because I was being mentored. So that was kind of something that was instilled in me, because I feel like a lot of people get on stage, they do their thing, they talk about deep issues, social issues, and then they're like,
They don't really dig
they're
deep
not
in.
about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Now,
what are you doing off the stage?
of the kids that you work with, because that's another part of you, another one of the many one of the many hats that you wear, I should say. Has there ever been a kid that you've seen yourself in, and how did you stay in connection with that kid?
Yeah, definitely. And many of them, you know, that hunger, that desire to be heard, that desire, like, no matter what, you know, my mom, dad, sister, brother tries to tell me, you know, to stop. They're like, nah, you're going to listen. Like, you know, I try to encourage that and motivate them. I know that life gets in the way a lot. Like, I've had two of my youth commit suicide in the past. One of them got older, in and out of jail, visited him there. I mean, you know, a lot of times life gets in the way, and I cannot relate because I've been through a lot in my life. But one thing is, when I see that hunger and I see that desire in their heart to just keep going, I'm like, you're resilient. Like, you gotta keep going because it's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than us. We cannot deny the gift that God gave us.
Agreed. Now, with that being said, we're going to segue after the music, but we're going to segue into the nonprofit that you have, which then ties into speaking about the kids and you giving back and helping them to discover the same thing that your mentor did for you. You do the same for the kids as well. So this is Waves of the Bay. I am DJ Spaceship. That is Simba. I have my co-pilot Maya in the building, and the Brandon B is here as well. WMNF, DJ Spaceship, Waves of the Bay. I have Simba and I have Brandon B. Brandon B, can you hear me?
Yo.
Yeah.
We are in here. We are in the building, in the studio. We got a nice, decent crowd in here. We have Maya. Maya, you here with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard her. She said all nice.
Maya.
She's made her radio appearance tonight. I don't know, was that your first time on radio, or that's just, you've been on radio. This is nothing new to you. She's looking like, I don't know. I don't know.
That's my daughter, y'all.
Well, Trick is not the only one that loves kids. We love kids here at WMNF.
Yes.
And we have them come through from time to time. We're right back in the saddle here. We have a few minutes before NPR News comes back in. But I wanted to talk to you more about the nonprofit that you established. What is the name of your nonprofit, and how can we find out, like, how can people support it?
All right. So Exodus United, A Way Out Together, was founded in 2015. It is a nonprofit organization in Orlando dedicated to serving at-risk youth through arts and education programs. We do everything for teens ages 12 to 17, from poetry, art, music. It's a form of therapy. We actually have a really dope and exciting studio program coming up next month, every Tuesday from 6 to 8 at Asylum Studio. We're going to be teaching kids about producing, engineering, singing, songwriting, how to express themselves. And if you want to get involved, go ahead and follow us on social media at Exodus, EXODUS United INC. We've done a lot of different powerful things. We've done programs in Coalition for the Homeless, Covenant House, JDC. We've done in Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. I'm actually a teacher myself. So I work for Orange County Public Schools. So definitely love the youth, always with the youth. Follow us, Exodus United Inc. on social media. ExodusUnited.org is the website. If you want to get involved, we are actually looking for sponsors. So if you'd like to sponsor a teen, or if you're interested or want to learn more about us, or if you know a teen that you think would benefit from our programs, reach out.
Gotcha. Now, you state that you guys' home base is out of Orlando, correct?
Right.
Now, is this something that is only for the Orlando area, or can this be, something that can be is branching out to different areas as well?
So I feel like,
for example, like the Tampa Bay area, St. Pete, Tampa, Clearwater.
Right. So we're willing to branch out everywhere.
Gotcha.
I mean, I remember one time I had a beautiful opportunity to go out even to Honolulu in Hawaii and facilitate a workshop on behalf of Exodus. So
that had to be pretty nice, to
Yeah, it was like a blessing. And I was like, I don't deserve this, but God works like that, right? Sometimes when you think, He just say, here you go.
Right.
So we are willing. I am willing. We will come to you. The most important thing is for the youth to be impacted, for the youth to have an opportunity to recognize that they are deserving to be heard. And like I say to them, performing poetry and making music cannot bring someone back from the dead. It cannot unkill them. It cannot unrape them. It cannot bring back, but it can help heal them. It can help push them past their trauma, help them process the things they're going through. So I feel like when you get inside of a therapy session, the therapist asks you, what is it that you're doing? How do you feel? And, etc. That's everything, the same questions you're answering when you get behind that mic. So
Gotcha. Now, you also mentioned production, and, me and Maya was talking earlier, and she was saying, why don't you just learn to do 25% of this and just one thing and let this person...
we have to be multifaceted.
Right. Yeah, and it makes you that much more marketable when you are. Mm-hmm. What was because, it started off poetry, correct? Yeah. How did you come up with the idea to add different things, the production, elements. The different elements to the program?
I mean, I love art. I love music myself.
Right.
I love all of that. So I've been around, I'm passionate about music, the 808, the beats, sampling.
So you know a little bit about the boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we just want to provide, because, everybody, we're not into just one thing. Like, we have so many different, hands everywhere. So we have to learn how to tap in and help them to foster that creativity. So it would be, too much just to focus on just one thing. Like, we need to open it up for everything. So
right. And when you look at a lot of people in anything, like any genre of music or a lot of different, business and, where it's different, just technologies and, just industries, the people that are considered the greater, most of the people that sit at the top, they don't just do one thing. Like Michael Jackson, he isn't just pop. He's pop, R&B, and James Brown, he's funk, soul, Marvin Gaye. Tina Turner, so many people, I can go on and on. Mm-hmm. Even Steve Jobs, somebody like him, Jay-Z, he started as a rapper and, he does more than just rapping, now he's with the NFL and, he's helped create a lot of things and he's helping the other side of the fence understand this side of the fence. When you see that happen coming from your program, that has to be like the biggest, pat on the back just to see that, it's like, I saved a kid.
Yeah, and even today I was talking to one of the kids. I said, look, you have to learn how to profit off your artistry. Right. It's not just about being a starving artist and being out here. I want you to learn how to be a young entrepreneur, start your own business, start an LLC. Like
Right.
if you want to do something, learn how you can also profit off it, because we live in a society where we need money, to survive and live. And I'm a single mom, and I already know the struggle is real. So
the struggle is real.
I want them to learn. Like I was telling them today, I said, listen, we don't make a lot of money off of streaming music, but you can make money off of, going ahead and making your own merch,
Gotcha.
doing certain things where you supply and demand, you meet the needs. So I want them to learn, about how to tap into creativity, but also business side. I want them
Right.
to learn how to profit off their artistry so they could live off of it and stuff, because the goal is to do what you love. The
Right.
goal is to survive off of what you love to do
Right.
and not have to work for anyone. Or
Let me just reset right quick, because we never got to this point. So we went to the poetry. We spoke about, the night you have every second and fourth Thursday.
Right.
And now we're speaking about the nonprofit that you have as well. But the one thing that I didn't do, and I apologize to the audience because I'm usually great at doing this in the beginning.
You're amazing.
But thank you. How did you come up with the name Simba? Like, what was it about the name Simba?
So Simba was actually a name that was given to me when I was about 16. I was like, what do I call myself? Because all the youth had these really dope stage names. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know. But they were just like, they saw my hair, they saw the fierceness, they
Gotcha.
saw that. They were just like, you know what? Simba. And I was
I
like,
got you.
Okay.
And it's funny that that you mentioned it. Your hair is like mane, like.
I mean, now it's like that, but it used to be even longer. Like,
Yeah.
it was real big, you
Yeah.
know? Even longer. And I was like coming on stage like all fierce.
Yeah, hungry for it.
Yeah, always.
When I first started DJing, and it's weird because I don't get interviews that often, but no one has ever really asked me this question, like, how did you come up with the name DJ Spaceship?
Right.
And my first DJ name was actually DJ Lucius Left Foot 3000.
DJ who?
Exactly. I always get that's
Left
DJ
First
Lucius.
name, last name, and middle name.
I had the reason I had that because I'm a huge Outkast fan. So Lucius Left Foot is Big Boy and 3000 is Andre. So I felt, by to pay homage to them both,
Yeah.
DJ Lucius Left Foot 3000. And that was changed. Went to a wedding of a close friend of mine's and, having drinks and stuff like that. And the guy said, nah, that's too much to say. People drinking won't remember that.
Right.
We're going to call
I didn't
you.
even know what
And
I was like, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
DJ Left Foot?
Yeah, and
What was it
DJ
saying?
Licorice.
yeah, no. And the name Spaceship came along because at the time I had hair, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, and my hair was actually to my shoulders. And
You
he
still
said,
got hair? You got facial hair?
well, I had more than facial hair. I had facial hair back then.
Ooh.
And that's how I came up with the name. He snapped his fingers. He said, I'm going to call you Spaceship because you remind me of one of them Outkast guys, like one of them far out guys.
I love
And that's how the
ATL.
name DJ Spaceship was came about. So, yeah. No one really ever asked me that question. I mean, like I said, I'm not usually the person in the hot seat being interviewed, but for the people, when I do get interviews, that's actually how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to continue to talk more with you to find out more about you because it's just, you thought it started with the poetry, then you thought it was just this. And
Thought it was just poetry.
and
but
there's still
Simba is
things that we haven't
multifaceted.
addressed yet. There's still things we haven't spoke about yet that she does. You see?
Uh-oh.
She does more than one thing.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to get to that. We back here, and that takes me to my next direction that I wanted to go with you, myself, Simba.
Hey.
We've talked about the poetry.
Yes.
We talked about you having your night every
For
second
yourself, open mic.
for yourself open mic every second and fourth Thursday of the month,
yeah.
and that's in Orlando, the Old Town. And then we talked about the nonprofit, which is aptly named
Exodus United.
Exodus United,
Yes,
which
yes.
focuses on poetry, production.
Music, art,
Music.
poetry, theater. It's arts and education programs for at-risk youth
Gotcha.
in Central Florida.
Gotcha. And you also, just briefly to touch on this briefly, you mentioned about there's a program, not a program, but there's something special you have coming up with the production part.
Yeah, we have a really dope and exciting program, guys. I want to tell you about it. It's Exodus United presents the Youth Studio program at Asylum Studios in Orlando. Shout out to HM Beats. Shout out to Romaine. Shout out to Asylum Studios. We are teaching kids ages 12 to 17 every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. how to produce, how to engineer, how to record, sing, and songwrite. And, we're giving them an opportunity to be heard, to tap into their creativity, their artistry. We're actually partnering with the Florida Writers Association, and
Gotcha.
it's a nonprofit in Florida. They're actually going to come out and talk to the kids, have them create a song to potentially really pitch for syncing, for TV shows or movies, etc. But we want to empower these kids. Some of them have never heard themselves behind a mic, and our goal is to improve their mental health, their self-esteem, and their confidence. So
Gotcha.
Excited.
Now, that also makes me move to this next part of you. That sounded kind of crazy, but it makes me move to the next part of you that we've yet to get to. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight that there's a lot to this woman sitting in that seat over there named Simba. The next part of you,
just a little bit.
You do a little bit of a lot, but a lot of a little bit, which is a lot of everything, so they can get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Y'all seen how I did that tongue? You see just a lickle, just a lickle. This is the portion. This is the part that I want to sit down and talk a lot about. Simba, the artist, the singer.
Floetress.
Right, the Floetress. And the reason, what really captured my attention is you said this song is like, et cetera, et cetera. And I listened to it and it gave me those same vibes. And we actually have 2 tracks here by you.
Better get into the tracks.
In which, what I'm going to do first, we're going to play one song and then we're going to come back and talk about that song and then we'll get into the next one. And then we're going to get into the gumbo of that entire part of you. So I told you, ladies and gentlemen, tonight that there's a lot to this woman sitting in the chair. And the first song I have up is called Miracles. So we're going to dive into that one and then we're going to come back and let you dissect that and break it down. And then we're going to continue to get to know more about you. This is DJ Spaceship on Waves of the Bay at WMNF. You can follow me on Instagram at DJ Spaceship. And we're going to find out more about Simba, the Floetress. The Floetress. This is a miracle. DJ Spaceship, this is Waves of the Bay, and we are in here studio. We have Simba and the one and only Brandon B. Looks like we got somebody calling in on the hotline. This is glowing and everything, but that song was Miracles by Simba, and I want you to tell me a little bit about that song, Simba. Like, what was the motivation behind that song, or who was the motivation behind that song?
So definitely, the motivation behind that song is God. I've been through a lot of pain in my life, and I feel like, without God, I wouldn't be where I am today and where I'm still going.
Right.
And, a lot of times we feel like we need a blessing, we need a miracle, whether it be financially, emotionally, spiritually, we need God to come through.
Right.
So I just wanted to give him the acknowledgement and the honor because, I love God so much, like, for real, and I feel unworthy a lot of times of the opportunities, but I know, I'm humbled. So I wanted to just honor him, and sometimes I just get in the studio and I don't know what I'm going to say, and then it comes out. It's like God. So, Miracles is, just a track to inspire and motivate the people and make them feel compelled to just have faith and believe, like, God is going to come through. If you have an eviction pending, he will come through. You're in jail, you're in solitary confinement, you're Baker acted, you're in a mental institution, you're anywhere. Like, you're depressed, you're about to kill yourself, whatever it is, any spiritual warfare that you're fighting, anything, God will come through. But you have to believe.
And I want to read something that was sent in, and it said, "What's up? I'm listening to DJ Spaceship and Simba on the show, and I love the show, and she is fire. Cheers, gang." So you got people down here in the Bay Area already rocking with you, man.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. It's love, love, love.
Now, my thing, like I said, we talked about the poetry, and you in the song Miracles, you had a flow to it, like it was, like you were spitting bars and stuff like that. Did you discover your talent to be able to do that at the same time as poetry, or was that something that came down the line?
Throughout time, especially working with the youth, I started doing more freestyling.
Okay.
And I started getting into like that cadence and that flow of like rapping and, spitting. And so I kind of started to play with it, especially with the youth, with the music.
Right.
And then through time, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go ahead and, try to actually spit on a beat. And that's kind of how it started. I actually have a album out that I released in 2018 called War Cry for the Oppressed.
Okay.
And it was a poetry spoken word album all about social issues such as homelessness, domestic violence, human trafficking, and it was all to music. And then as the years progressed, I started, dibble-dabbling with rap and kind of just playing with my flow and...
So, well, let me ask you this: like, is there an artist, is there a rapper in particular that you
yes.
like, or who?
Yeah, Nas.
Okay. So
I love Nas. You know, he spit a whole song backwards. He talks
it's
about...
called Rewind. Yes, that was on, was it Stillmatic?
He personifies...
Stillmatic.
He personifies, gun, gave you power, gave you power. Like, he uses all the poetic elements and he narrates a story. Of course, I love Kendrick, J. Cole. I actually like Dead Prez way back from the days. They have like a song called Mindset.
So let me ask you this: Do you see yourself favor or more partial to the 90s hip hop or today's hip hop?
I'd say 90s.
90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like today's. It just depends. Each genre has a purpose.
Right.
Like, I love Afro beats and I also love reggae.
Right.
I love different things, but it's for a different purpose. Like, you want to go to dance and move your body and be entertained, or do you want to go to tap into your third eye, woke, this whatever, just
it has a different vibe
rap.
to it.
Everything has its own unique purpose.
Right.
And I feel as though I have to remind myself that sometimes, because I'm like, man, they're talking about booty shaking and all that, but it's like, that was their purpose. Not everybody was meant to be a conscious rapper. Like, people are also made to entertain and have a good time, make you feel good.
And I think, a testament, what's the DJ name at your event that you do?
DJ Levy.
DJ Levy. The one thing that I like that he did, and I look at a lot of DJs, I try not to critique, but he drugged me into the arena to just listen to what he was doing. And the thing I like that he did is, depending on who was coming up, he created that vibe.
Yeah.
So shout out to him for that. And like you said, when it comes to not just hip hop, but any genre of music, if you feel like cleaning up, you turn some music on and get you in the mood for that. You feel like partying or house party stuff, you turn that on and you want to reminisce or cry or just get something off your chest. You put that kind of music on as well. Have you had a moment when someone's come up to you and told you the effect that your music has had on them, and how did you receive that?
Yeah. Definitely have different people come up and share with me that they could feel that it came from a real place. Like, I have a poem that I perform all the time called To the Young Queen and OBT. It's a true story about a homeless girl that was being human trafficked that I work with.
Gotcha.
And it's like, I receive it as encouragement, because a lot of times I go through things, personal tribulations, that I feel discouraged.
Oh, we all do.
Right? But it's a motivation.
Lord knows I do.
Yeah, we all do.
How they say, we fall down, but
we get up.
And why he hit that on cue like that, man? You sound like you was in the choir for real, man. I think we all done been there times too. I think we all done been there.
Yeah, it's encouragement. Like, something I tell my youth too, like, it's bigger than you.
Right.
Like, even if you don't feel like doing it, do it. Because someone in the crowd, you don't know who's in the crowd, what they need to hear, what they're about to do before they came here. If they're about to kill themselves before, and somehow God used you as a vessel to liberate them. Like, anybody that's listening right now, you need to understand something. If you have a story to tell, you need to tell that story. Just like you're about to get on a roller coaster and you feel scared and afraid, you need to use your fears as adrenaline and push through and do it. Like, get excited and nervous, but just do it, because you don't understand. Like, your poem, your song, your rap, it can literally inspire someone to keep going, to have hope, for them to feel they're not alone.
Gotcha.
And that's the biggest thing. People don't realize, like, listen, you're not alone in what you're going through.
Gotcha. Now, what I want to do next is I want to play this next track that we have for you as well. And this is one, Miracles is good. Don't get it twisted.
Miracles is dope.
But like that is a different...
I got this other track too that I should have. It's brand new. Oof, but I can't. I have it, but... Yeah.
Listen, perfection takes time. So we want music that's going to be, timeless music, not today's music. We don't want no microwave music. We want something that's going to last. You see what I'm saying? You go to the microwave, you hit 30 seconds, it's done, you eat it, it's gone. But you get that soul food that you got to sit down and take your time to cook.
Got to cook it slow.
And then when you get it in your soul, that's a lot of food. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into Like That, and then we're going to come back and we're going to break that one down as well. And then we're going to tie this all together. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with a little bit of Like That. Waves of the Bay. I am DJ Spaceship, and it's like that. Can somebody say it with me? Say it's like that.
It's like that.
It's like that. Say it again one time, Maya. It's like. She said it's like that. What you doing over there? You trying to build you something? Ain't no telling. We're back live in effect, live and direct. That was Like That. So can you tell me a little bit about that song? And the reason, I'm happy that we got a chance to play that one and share it with the listeners that's listening to us here at WMNF. It gave that Floetry vibe with Natalie and Marsha You know, you did the chorus, and then you came back and you did the poetry side of it. So it's like you gave us two sides of you at the same time. How did you? What was the inspiration for you to do a song like that?
The inspiration for me to do a song like that's the track that I just actually did, was a true feeling about a man that I love and have loved. And, it's just kind of like when you love someone,
right?
You need to just, wife them up. Like, you need to just be about it. Let
you can't just jump out and wipe everybody up because that's a feeling. Because sometimes the feelings not always accurate. You know, in the beginning, take for example in a relationship, you have the honeymoon phase. So if you wife somebody in the honeymoon phase and then you wife them up or husband him up or whatever you call it, and then you start seeing all these red flags, then what do? That's
a great point.
You got to take your time.
No. But when ample time has passed, like, and you keep coming back to that person and you just can't deny it, like, you should just be with them.
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, I'm not saying always is the right answer, but I just kind of felt like if you like that, then you should have wifed that. Like, why allow something great to pass through your hands? Like, I feel like we need to just stick in the game a little bit longer. Like,
I think that, and I like the message that you're saying. You know, if it's something that you like, take a chance at it. You only live once.
Something to fight for.
Right, something to fight for. And I think in today's age, especially since the pandemic, according to Biden, the pandemic is over. But it's whatever. We'll get to that some other time. But I think in these times, it's people have to really. Communication to me is not the most important thing in a relationship. Comprehension is, because communication can be good. It could be bad, but comprehension is when you say something, I'm listening to you. When you do something, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
When you're reacting a way, I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to feel you. So, a lot of times people will be like, okay, well, Simba did this, so this is what she means, and you never ask Simba if that's what she means. You would never ask Simba why you did this and stuff like that. So I think when people get back to the comprehension phase, you'll see the results a lot better when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. What do you take on that?
I mean, I definitely think, things take time, and just because you have a feeling doesn't mean it's like loving someone is not enough. You shouldn't just get with someone just because you have a feeling for them. It has to, have to be compatible. You guys both have to, like, everything has to be in order. But I just feel like sometimes people don't really realize what's right in front of them, and they just allow opportunities to pass, because whether they're afraid of commitment or they have their own stuff, But at the end of the day, we got to take a step back, because if something isn't working, it's maybe that it's not meant for this moment.
Or you have to regroup.
Recircle back to that. Or maybe God has a different plan for you.
Gotcha.
So you just have to try to not question it in that moment. But yeah, like, my love is deep, is for a person, but you just got to, like, let it ride.
Now, how did was it hard for you to record that song? Because as you said it was about someone from your story of your journey up to where you are now to create that song. Was it hard for you to put that in recording? Because once it's out there, you're going to hear it again and again and again.
No. The person actually listens to it and jams to it too, so it's like kind of funny.
It's a reminder to him that if you like that, then you should wife that.
He knows, but yeah. It's not. I feel like when I get in the, and that's kind of why I like doing music more too.
Right.
It's straight poetry. Like, I'm sorry, straight therapy.
Right.
Like, I legit need it. Like, I need it. Like, I feel like it's like a therapy session. Like, I need this. So,
gotcha.
It wasn't hard for me. It felt almost like liberating for me. Because it's just kind of like, listen, I got something to tell you.
Gotcha.
But in a, more melodic way.
Gotcha. Well, what I want to do right quick, I'm going to play a quick promo, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more with Simba, and then we have a couple of more songs that I want to run out there so everybody can hear. So this is DJ Spaceship. You can follow me on Instagram at DJ Spaceship, and you can follow me on YouTube at DJ Spaceship. But we're going to run this quick promo, pay a little bills, and we'll be right back after this. This is DJ Spaceship with Waves of the Bay. It's interesting, the conversations that happen behind the scenes, man, but we can't share everything with y'all because some of those conversations are about new projects, new things that are going on, just good things that are going on, man. But what I want to do is I want to play this one song, It's I want to play this one for you, B. See if you can catch this one and catch the vibe of who this person is right here. This is DJ Spaceship, and this next song is I Can't Say. You just have to listen. WMNF, I am DJ Spaceship. This is Waves of the Bay. We have come to the end of the show, and we have the Saturday night shutdown getting ready. We got DJ Chen in the building. See, he over there getting ready. He laughing and stuff like that, man. What you laughing for? What you laughing at? And we got the one and only Concept, the man with the plan, man. Just, you got to show some love because Concept is the man. I don't think y'all understand who that man is, but that's a bad man. But Simba, I had a good time. I really enjoyed you here.
It was a pleasure.
And the Bay enjoyed you. Can you tell the people how they can follow you and stay in contact with you?
So definitely follow me on all social media, but on Instagram specifically, Simba 93. That's Simba 93. And in my bio, you can go ahead and click on the link to Free Yourself Open Mic, as well as Exodus United Inc., which is my nonprofit. Again, we are seeking sponsors. If you would like to sponsor a teen ages 12 to 17 to attend our youth studio program, we're teaching kids about producing, engineering, singing, and songwriting as a way to express themselves, help improve their self-esteem, their confidence, their mental health. We would love to even give you 2 to 3 months free of a performance slot. Free yourself if you're an artist. So what we're doing right now is we're collaborating.
Gotcha.
So if you want to donate or sponsor, we're actually, in exchange for the sponsorship, give you free performance slots at our open mic. So
Gotcha.
we have that coming up.
And as she stated, make sure that you follow her on her Instagram and her social media pages, and you can find out a lot more about that. And you can reach out as well to be a sponsor in those things. And I am DJ Spaceship. You can follow me on Instagram at DJ Spaceship, YouTube DJ Spaceship, and Facebook DJ Spaceship. And I also do photography, dronography with a drone. And you can follow that page on Instagram. And it's it's a space_I_view. Common spelling, nothing crazy about it, but
Hey, it's Tone Capone. You already know what time it is. Let's go. Welcome to Waves of the Bay. Yeah, I said it's Waves of the Bay. If you ain't about the action, better find another lane. If you ain't providing platforms, better find another stage. I'm living in my purpose, every day is game day. And now it's time to level up. Give the people what they want, show the artist off and strut. Let the music do the talking while the talent gets the fun. They said it's all written, but I had to change the font. Come on, because I do what I want. Champions win, so I'm not about to taunt. After all the smoke clears, I'll be standing right here at the top with my peers, living life without fears. I'm full speed ahead, never looking in the mirror, never looking in the rear, cause I'm known to switch gears. Hey, mom,